What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. I want to thank Gary for letting me know EA Sports put up this clip, and I'm astonished. First of all, for all of you that come in, don't have an opinion of your own, have to kind of just carry over a Muppet's opinion, if you think I'm miserable in my life, I don't know what to tell you. I love doing this. If you've ever played a competitive sport, you know this is the basis of football. Football is not the 60 minutes you see on a Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Thursday. Football is the full week of preparation, film study. And if you don't like that, if you don't understand that, well, then you're the perfect gamer for EA Sports because you want instant gratification. My late friend Uche Waniri constantly talked about the job of being a professional. That's why he was so harsh. That's why I continue to be so harsh on EA Sports that can't make a simulation football game. They can't hide how bad their game is. And this play is a prime example. We're going to look at a number of things in this play, but it's a relatively short play. And there's some things that I'm not going to criticize because, quite frankly, I can't see them. So this is Sam Laporta catching a pass, going in for a touchdown. Sam is a great tight end for the Detroit Lions. Also, signs TTMs if you want to send him some autograph requests over to the stadium. However, outside of that, Sam Laporta is not as good as this play would make it seem because there are so many things that are wrong on this play. And we're going to start with the offensive line, the Clint Oldenburg simulator, if you will. How to get cut, how to never make an NFL roster, how to never get off a practice squad. This is how. First of all, the pressure really shouldn't be there because we're looking at double team blocks, okay? If you look here, this is the double team we're going to focus on, but Laporta kind of gets a chip. The halfback's going to come help get this defensive end off balance. All of that's fine. Double teams should be the most sure block. When you're a quarterback and you're reading the pocket, you should trust those double teams more than anything else, but you can see here the lineman is getting ahead. If you look at the lineman center of your screen, he's getting ahead of the defender, and that allows him to simply beat that defender with one move right there, kind of swims out to the outside. Now you've got a free shot at the quarterback. Now you're scrambling back additional yardage. Now you're throwing the ball before you're ready. Why does this happen? Because Madden's logic for double team animations is not good. It's never been good. They don't pass the player from one to another. Instead, they just do individual blocks in tandem that allows one player to get beat, effectively beating the two of them. Now, again, not too much I can say about this coverage, but here's what I will say. And I can't fault the user here because if you've played this game, you've been here. Okay, we've all been here. You've got a player in open field. You're randomly clicking on players trying to make a tackle. But I want to talk about pursuit angles because this cannot happen. Okay, you look at the angle of this safety. He is running straight to the sideline, which is good. The sideline should be used as a defender. The sideline in real life is an extra defender. He should be helping funnel Laporta out. Instead, that harsh cut. And I understand there's some button mashing here. But look at these two. They end up running together. Now you're button mashing again. You're just trying to get on a player, trying to get a tackle, something. Look at the mess that you have here. All different angles, all different positions. Because the game is just so fundamentally broken when it comes to putting animations together that even look realistic, that even make sense. So another missed tackle here. Again, you want to take that on the user, go right ahead, but we've all been here. We've all been here in the game where none of the tackles seem to work because we're not getting the proper animation. That's all this game is. There's no skill here. I want to say that for both users. There's no skill. Animation-dependent gameplay. That's why you're rolling in the ground like a tumbleweed for nothing to do. But right here we are. How many years? Guys, how many years? Right, we're at the 40-yard line. We're at the 40-yard line. There's a meaningful amount of field in front of us. Now, I understand to some of the Muppets, they'll say, well, it's a touchdown, so it doesn't matter. This receiver is out of animation. So he is literally walking. He's going to the strip club. He's leaving Madden, and he's going to college football. This game is just ass, guys. Why does this continue to happen year in, year out, where we have wide receivers that go down the field, they can't find a target to block, so they just start leisurely strolling? It should not happen. It doesn't happen in real football. You'll never see a player at the 50-yard line trying to evade defenders while someone that should block for him walks across the field aimlessly. And I know, again, just like before, there are going to be people in the comment section that say, well, it's not a big deal. They still scored a touchdown. Well, stick skills. Sam Laporta is a top 5 tight end. Oh, you don't understand how realistic this game is. That wide receiver usually parks at the front of the training facility, but Sam Laporta parked his car there last week. So therefore, that wide receiver knew Sam Laporta could score and said, you know what? I'm not going to block for you because you took my parking spot. Or there's some people that come in and say it's even more realistic than that, that player was playing against Sam Laporta in his fantasy football league. And he was like, you know what? I'm a real NFL player, and I'm in a fantasy football league. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to control the whole game. I'm going to let Sam Laporta score. I'm so confident in my skills, I'm going to give the other team a touchdown. There are people that will look at this game and literally justify anything. I have seen more comments this year that say, you know, it's just a game. Just be happy you have a game. Just enjoy that you have a game. I really wonder, to go back to the beginning, how many of you have played competitive sports? Because I know if you have, you would never take that mindset. You would have never looked at your coach and said, well, coach, I'm just happy to play. Oh, coach, you can put me on the bench. I'm just happy to be out here. I'm just happy to put on a jersey, happy to put on pads. I don't understand what the big deal is, coach. You're not out there playing. I don't understand why we have to go over this 100 times, coach. I don't understand why we're looking at film and nitpicking, coach. You tell on yourselves is what you do. Not just in the comments, but other creators in this space. You tell on yourself. So I went back to the beginning. Uche was an incredible lineman. I think 2006 season, 2005 season, I think he gave up one quarterback pressure. Didn't give up a sack. Should have been an all-pro. But you got to ask yourself, respectfully, when you've got players building this game, coding this game, designing this game, whatever it is that they're doing, and they haven't played at the level that they needed to be at, are they part of the reason this game is so bad? I've often said, you don't need any person from this community down at EA saying, hey, that wide receiver shouldn't be moseying across the field. You need someone there that has NFL experience that'll say, hey, from experience, I've been cut from multiple teams. That'll get you cut. Let's get that fixed. And you need somebody that has the communication skills to go down to a program and say, hey, I've noticed in our game, a lot of times when a player is in open field and a receiver has completed his route, sometimes they'll just aimlessly walk in the field and do nothing. We need to change that so they constantly scan for players to block. More so when we're selling this game as a simulation, when we're selling this to gamers and saying, oh, it has all these calculations. But again, there will be a Muppet, no doubt, that says, oh, what was the awareness set at? Maybe his awareness was 84. If it was 87, he would have found someone to block. Oh, what was the skill set at? Was it at rookie? Because if it's at rookie, that's how rookie would play. A rookie would go out and be afraid of contact. He wouldn't want to block anybody. All pro, all Madden, removes all that. I'm going to close this video by letting you know something. You can't fix broken game logic with sliders or settings. If you could, EA Sports would have done it years ago when they introduced tuning to the game. Some of you don't remember when they introduced tuning to the game, but tuning was going to allow them to take all those magical sliders the community creates, you know, your favorite slider set that you tell me somehow fixes the whole game. Yeah, Rick in his basement in Minnesota has created a slider set that fixes Madden, where the people that actually work on the game for years haven't figured it out. Don't believe it. But regardless, the slider set could have been implemented globally to everyone through tuning. It hasn't been, and it won't be. because this game is built on an engine that is not designed to replicate football. And it shows us that it's not replicating football properly every single day. And because of that, I get to do something I absolutely love, which is break down this horrible gameplay. And whether one person loves it or 5 people hate it, I still enjoy every single interaction. And you know there is no way with this game releasing in, well, just about 2 or 3 hours that I will not be back in the week with more commentary.